Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 10 of the Hockey Tank podcast. This is November 21st, 2021, in sub-zero Celsius degree, Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. My name is Trevor Blackler, and as per usual, I'm joined with the humorous and hardworking Stephen Hale. We're in double digits now, Steve. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels amazing, buddy. The Hockey Tank podcast is coming along great. Unfortunately, the YouTube's been a bit slow and the Instagram's been a bit slow, but we're working our way up to getting that at full speed. And I'm thinking after Christmas, we should have it going pretty well.
I like to
What do
hear
you
that,
think?
man. I love it, man. I never thought I'd be this famous before. I never thought I'd be on TV.
Yeah.
So
Did you see
this is
our new
awesome.
Instagram follower today?
I did not know.
I think it was a bar downtown or a restaurant.
Really
Yeah.
unbelievable. I'll have to check that out.
Unbelievable progress. How was your
Yeah.
week, by the way, man?
Oh, it was fantastic. Played a bit of hockey, blocked a shot, and I bruised my ankle, so I'm kind of recovering here now. But I feel like I earned the dub for the team,
Oh
so
yeah.
feels great. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was good, man. I had my parents visiting me. We went out and got some grub and did a little bit of Christmas shopping. So
Decent.
pretty decent week and weekend. To follow up on who follow us, the Newfoundland Embassy. It's a pub in the core of downtown St. John's on New Gower
You know
Street.
what? I worked. I was gonna say I work with a girl that works there. Maybe she followed me because, or followed us because she seen me on there. But we weren't doing this when I worked with her. I don't think. But we'll see. I'll have
Anyways,
to ask her next time I see her.
shout out to the Newfoundland Embassy.
Yeah, maybe they'll be our first sponsor. That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
that'd be sick. Anyways, you can get into the news, buddy. I'm here to comment.
Well, before that, I'll just tell the viewers what they're in for on this.
Okay, sounds good.
Day. Today on the pod, we'll discuss some recent news from the hockey world, um, put the spotlight on yet another NHL news, and we'll also be bringing you guys our picks for the biggest draft steals in NHL history. So if that sounds good with you, Steve, we can certainly do the news there now.
You know, when you put NHL history into perspective, I feel like I might have slated a few people on my
That's all
list
right.
because I got a questionable. I got two active players, so for me to put them in NHL history, oh man,
That's all right, man.
you know,
I can
opinions can
handle the back
change.
end. I can handle the back end in the 80s and 90s, and you just rock on with the
Active.
90s and active players. I like
All
that.
right, sounds good.
So our first piece of news here, and I guess I'll tell the listeners we're going to be cutting down on news little. We're just going to be bringing you the highlights of it. Would you say just the good stuff? We're just having dessert from now on. We're
Yeah.
not having the rest of the news meal.
No, we're not having a three fucking. What do you call it?
5 course
Courses.
meal or
Yeah.
8 course meal or something.
No, just dessert.
Yeah, just dessert, chocolate cake, milk or something.
Oh wow.
Coach Jared Bednar signs 2-year contract to stay with the Avalanche, so that's a good sign for them. I think he's a pretty good coach. What do you
Yeah,
think?
he's a pretty good coach. Yeah, I just hope it doesn't get stale in that locker room if they don't start winning.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, that you gotta switch up the coach after every now and again because his voice just I don't know, is not as
After so
powerful.
many playoff losses, the voice just gets smaller and smaller. I think so. Hopefully they can get over the hump because it seems like Colorado needs to do that. I mean, they have everything they need to win. Still question Kemper and if he can hold the fort, but we'll see how they do. I
Yeah,
think it's a
for
good
sure.
signing though. For
I did too.
now,
In 2 years, it's not like they're locking him up for 8 and they're just stuck in it. 2 years. I mean,
and I think that's why he got 2 years rather than 5. Is because it's like, we haven't really made the big jump, and we got like some of the best forwards in the game and some of the best defensemen in the game, young defensemen too, like McCarr and Barham.
yeah,
So,
this contract signing reminds me of Sheldon Keefe in Toronto.
mm-hmm,
I think
that's
they're on
fair.
the same timeline.
Yeah.
Troy Brouwer retires after 14 NHL seasons. He had 851 games played and 363 points. What's the first thing you think of when you think of Troy Brouwer?
I think of Florida.
Florida? I think of Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think grit and right-handed shot. I don't know. I feel like he scored some big goals for the Capitals.
I don't know if he's ever scored a big goal in his career, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't think our new Washington fan is gonna like that.
Well, the truth hurts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really think of much when I think of Troy Brower. I don't know if that's me or not. But,
Man, I remember in NHL games, he like could never make it to the NHL. He always was in the minors, but he'd light up the minors.
yeah. Well, Troy
Another
Brower is just a guy. He's just a guy. That's
he's
what I was
just a
gonna
guy.
say.
Just a guy. No, who's not a guy? Dion Phaneuf. He retired after 14 NHL seasons as well. He had 494 points in 1,048 games.
You
What's the
love to
first thing
see
you think
that.
of when you think of Dion?
I think of Game 7. I
Uh,
think that's unfair because he was actually a pretty good player, and the pressure of Toronto got to him. It's unfortunate. He was a good player and he was a good captain as far as I'm concerned, but it's just one of those things in Toronto. If you don't fucking do it every night, if you don't succeed, you're gonna get shit on and things are gonna change quickly. Rather than a team like Nashville, I feel like you can fail in Nashville for 10 years and they'll still believe in you.
if you fail in Nashville, they reward you with an $8 million contract.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I
if you
think
have a
of three
bad week in
things.
Toronto, there's death threats on your family.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting fucking death threats. You sent to your house, to your parents' house, everything.
Yeah, different
I,
atmosphere.
I think of three things when I think of Dion Phaneuf. The first one is the double Dion in the
Oh my
World
god, man! How did
Juniors.
I not bring that up, man? I think of the fight where he fell down too.
That's the second thing. He
Yeah,
tripped on a stick. He dropped his mitts and stick and
like
then
this.
slipped on his stick and like died.
Yeah.
And then I also think of a game when he played in Calgary. He broke the glass the
Yes,
first
twice.
period. And then he went out in the second period, the third period, and broke the glass again. And everybody was like, "What the fuck, man? Stop letting
Yeah.
this guy shoot."
Yeah, Dion's a beauty.
He is. I don't mind him. I like him. I was wishing him success in LA.
I was hoping he signed back in the NHL, but I think he tried for a couple of years, but he just couldn't. He's just too
Yeah, he
old.
couldn't keep up. He never was the fastest, and the league's getting so much quicker now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getzlaf scored his 1,000th point on the same night. Anaheim got their 1,000th win.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
I didn't realize that actually.
I don't think it's ever happened before. It's pretty unique.
I wouldn't say, man. That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's going to go down as one of the best Ducks ever.
Well, he's the all-time points leader now.
Yeah.
So for sure. Except for that, let's see.
He bleeds Duck.
Oh, he bleeds Duck. He's got Duck blood. Price is back on ice. Is that going to be enough to save the Canadians this season?
My hypothesis. I almost fucked it up and said hypotenuse, but it's a fucking triangle.
That's the longest side of a triangle.
Yes. Oh yeah, that is true. Fuck, man. Fuck geometry.
Yeah, fuck geography.
Yeah. I don't think it's enough, man. I think they're too far back in the standings. I don't know if they're 5-13 and 1 or something like that. Like when you're so far behind, even like they got to bust their ass to get fucking 500. And when they get 500, it's like, all right, now we got to win. Like we got to get above 500 at a good pace, and then you get teams ahead of you moving at the same time. It's just near impossible at this point. I think they should try and sell some pieces at the deadline and maybe look to get a top 5 pick. Even though the last top 5 picks in fucking Carolina now because they're bums. Anyways.
Thanks for bringing that back up for all our Canadian listeners. Everybody appreciates that. Yeah, my gut instinct tells me no, it's not going to be enough, but I had them sneak into the playoffs, so I hope they do. Just so I don't.
I hope they do too, man. I like Price. I want him to win. I'm not a salty Leafs fan.
Yeah. Speaking of Canadians, if they're looking to win, this guy's going to have to be involved. Cole Caulfield is back up in the NHL, but in his first game back, he was a -3.
Mr. Minus, man.
-4.
He's like minus in the AHL, man.
Yeah, man. The guy, I don't know.
He can score goals, man, but he's not a guy you want in your own zone.
No, he looks shit defensively so far.
That's
why they got to play him with Suzuki, honestly.
I think he was a little bit hyped too much. I could see 30 to maybe a 40-goal season, 30 goals. I can see him being a consistent 30 goal.
This guy's going to score 50.
We're going to look back
and this guy's going to be top 5 draft steal. This guy's
I don't think so.
He's the real deal, man.
He's not a steal where he was picked, man. He was picked in the fucking middle of the first.
Yeah, we'll see.
Get your head on straight, buddy.
All right. I guess we'll finish off my portion of the news with
All right.
some of the inductees to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Doug Wilson, Kim St. Pierre, Kevin Lowe, Jerome McGinley, Marion Hosa, and Kenny Holland are the newest members of the Hockey Hall of Fame. They were inducted, or not inducted, but chosen in the class of 2020, but were only inducted on Monday. I don't think I could have fucked that sentence up any more than I did. That's wrong.
No, man.
But,
no.
What do you think of this class?
I think it's a solid class, man. I'd love to see Jerome get in there, first of all, because I think he's one of my favorite players of all time. I was really excited when he went to Pittsburgh, and I think they had a really good connection there, but it didn't turn out that way, unfortunately, with Crosby. And Ken Holland, another guy I'll bring up. I don't know. He's been a good GM, but I don't know if I think he's past his time. Even though Oilers look really good, I feel like
his time in Detroit for sure. He was towards the end. His contracts were brutal, so he had to go, and he had too much power in Detroit, and that's why he could just sign the guys he liked for as much money because he came too friendly. So I think going to Edmonton helped a lot because then he didn't have as much power and
more of a business end.
Yeah, he was actually having to make good business decisions instead of just giving his buddies fucking $5 million a year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a good class, man. I'm honest, not gonna lie to you. The other names just went through one ear and went out the other after that.
Yeah. So Doug Wilson was the Sharks captain, and now I think the Sharks GM.
Yes.
Doug Wilson. Yeah. Kim St. Pierre was a women's Canadian Olympian for hockey.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Lowe, we talked about him enough. Defenseman for the Oilers, won 6 cups. Not a big deal. Jerome McGinley, Flames captain. My favorite Flame, I think. In history, could fight, could score, could do it all. Marion Hosa, just a prolific goal scorer with a lot of organizations.
Always.
3 cups with the Chicago Blackhawks.
The famous Marion Hosa. He went to bring up a point for you to move on. He went what was it? He was in Detroit. Oh, no, he was in Pittsburgh last, went to Detroit one. Or no, it was the other way around.
He was on Pittsburgh and lost in the Stanley Cup Finals to Detroit in 2007.
Went Detroit last, and he had to go to Chicago to win.
Yeah, and then went to Detroit and was like, all right, I'll definitely win a cup now. Or that was in 2008, and he was like, fuck it, I'll go to Detroit in 2009 to win. And then went to Detroit in 2009, and they got beat by Pittsburgh Penguins. So if he just stayed,
he ended up winning, so it's good.
He ended up winning 3 cups, man. So I think it paid off. For sure. Yeah. And the last guy in the class is Kenny Holland, GM, longtime GM for Detroit and newest GM for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
So that's our class of 2020, and they were just inducted on Monday. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's good for them, man. I like to see people going to Hall of Fame. When's Carlo Koliakovo getting in?
I'm still waiting for that day, man. Still waiting. He's been snubbed for years.
Oh yeah, it'll come. Yeah.
Do you got any news to talk about?
Not much. Gary Bettman met with Quebec Premier to discuss bringing an NHL team back. So they had a meeting. That's interesting news. And other than that, Mason Mctavish has gone to the OHL.
That's too bad, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably good for his growth, anyways.
For sure.
Well, you got scoring time.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't want to burn off the 1 year of his ELC.
Yeah,
which is smart because if he was putting up if he was goal per game or something, if he was doing what Lucas Raymond was doing now, they wouldn't mind burning a year off the CLC. But
yeah, save it. They're smart. Yeah. They're making a good decision.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you got nothing else, I guess we'll throw it over to Newf of the Week.
Sounds good to me, buddy.
All right. Thanks for tuning in so far, guys. Stay tuned. Lot more podcasts coming. Now for one of my personal favorite segments of the show, NHL Newfie of the Week. To bring us the player we're highlighting this week, we'd like to welcome Caleb Smith, our in-house hockey historian. How are you doing today, buddy?
Awesome, man. Glad to be back with another Newfie of the Week.
Glad to have you back. Who's player this week?
This week I've done a lot of older guys the past couple weeks, so I figured I'd go for a more recent player. We're gonna highlight a defenseman from Bonavista, Adam Purdy.
Wicked.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Right on. Yeah, I gave you guys a few hints, but you didn't catch on because I
Should have.
fucking sent the pictures of his least amount of teams that he played on.
He won with the Growlers, man.
Well, we'll get to that, man.
All right.
I'll probably throw up a picture with him on the Growlers.
I think this is going to be our longest Newfie of the week so far. I got a full fucking page on Adam Purdy. And I wanted to, not only I wanted to do a new player, but Adam's a good example of to never, like, no matter how much you're getting caught or no matter how much time you spend in the minors, never fucking give up. Keep that grind going and you'll make it to the show if you keep it up.
Awesome. We love our underdogs around here.
He was around forever, seems like.
Oh, he was.
Kicking tires. Yeah. Let's hear it then.
All right. Adam Purdy was drafted by the Halifax Mooseheads in 2002, but he was sent to play Junior A. He didn't crack the initial roster. He didn't play at all with the Mooseheads. He just played Junior A. And then his rights were traded to the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles, but he was going to crack the Screaming Eagles roster, but his Junior A team refused to give up his rights for a deep playoff run. So unfortunately, he didn't, even though he could have played in the Q, he was stuck playing Junior A. But he finally made his QMJHL debut in late 2003 in the season, playing 7 regular season games and 2 playoff games with Cape Breton.
Any points in those games?
No points in those games, no.
It's not a point scorer.
Just throwing the body.
He's not a point scorer.
Well,
he just had the presence.
He did eventually play 2 full seasons in the Q with the Screaming Eagles, and he was drafted 173rd overall by the Calgary Flames at the age of 20. So this was his 3rd time being eligible for the NHL draft.
Yeah.
Wow.
So not often do you see 20-year-olds going in the draft.
No, man. There was the recent case of a 20-year-old going was I believe it was Brett Leeson got drafted in the first round by the Capitals a couple years back. He missed several drafts, I believe, and then he had a really good year in Prince Albert in the WHL, and he just fucking. And now he's playing with Washington in the NHL. I think he's played several games as well.
Yeah, man, for sure.
That's cool to see.
But Adam Purdy finally made his pro debut. He played 3 seasons in the minors between the AHL and the ECHL. But his NHL debut came in 08-09. He played 60 games. He scored 1 goal, got 9 assists, and got 69 penalty minutes. And there's one thing I got to throw up here about his rookie season. It's definitely a good thing for the YouTube or Instagram. His hit on Jared Bowl, holy fuck, man. Just do a quick YouTube, after the pod or whatever. In his rookie season, he smoked Jared Boyle. Like, I'd say it was the hit of the season, honestly.
Oh my God. Was it open ice or against the glass?
It was open ice, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a monster, though. He's like
he's a big boy.
Man, he's huge.
Yeah. He's wide. Holy fuck.
In the 11-12 season, he was traded to Dallas Stars. He played 36 games with them and got 3 assists, but he also split time with the Texas Stars during his stint. The next season, 12-13, he went to the Buffalo Sabres, where he played 17 games played and got 4 assists, but he also split time with the Rochester Americans. In 13-14, he went to the Winnipeg Jets, where he played all the way up until the 15-16 season. And he also had a little stint with the Ice Caps. He played 3 games with the St. John's Ice Caps. So the Newfie boy representing.
Newfie boy comes home.
I remember him with the Jets more so than any other team.
Yeah, me too.
At all.
The other incident I wanted to bring up about Adam Purdy was I think they were playing the Blackhawks actually, and he got nailed through the glass. And then the fucking guy took Adam Purdy's helmet off and put it on his head, man.
That's sick. Yeah.
That was Adam Purdy.
Yeah, if you didn't
know that was him.
That's what I was gonna bring up too. That's the only thing I think of when I think of Adam Purdy.
And that's a good thing to think of, man.
Yes, man.
It's so funny, man. The guy that took his helmet is so loaded in this video. It's crazy.
Oh, he's trashed. He's completely trashed, yeah. I think he got kicked out and everything after that. Like,
100%.
Oh, yeah. I would have took the helmet and ran.
Yeah, me too, man. Fuck, put it off on eBay.
Yeah.
But in 15-16, he went to the Oilers. He played 9 games there, and he tallied 3 assists. So not bad, 3 assists in 9 games. It's not too decent there.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good for a bottom six.
Yeah. And the next season, he went straight to Nashville. He only played 4 games there. He didn't score any points, but he got 6 penalty minutes to show for his time with Nashville. And he also split time with the Milwaukee Admirals. That was his last season in the NHL. So then, directly after 16-17, he went to the SHL for Frölunda HC. He played 11 games there. So he got some time in Europe. He only played 11 games, but he still got to see beauty over in Sweden. I think Alfie played on Frölunda too. That's a pretty, I think.
Wow, that'd have been a sick dressing room to be in.
Oh, for sure.
Joel Lundqvist, is that his name? Henrik Lundqvist, brother?
Yes,
Yeah.
man. Yep.
Yeah. Wow, that'd have been a cool team.
Right after he spent his 11 games there in the SHL, he came back to Newfoundland, and like you said, he played with the Newfoundland Growlers, and that was his last season of professional hockey, and he won the Kelly Cup. Fucking right, Growlers, man. I was bartending at Split Rock that year, man, and we turned it on just in time to see him celebrate.
Yeah, I remember being to some of them playoff games. I wasn't at the Kelly Cup winning game. I don't even know who was in Newfoundland. Was it? Yes. Was it?
Yeah, it was in.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was against Toledo, I think.
Florida, wasn't it? Or no, it was Toledo. It was Toledo.
Toledo Walleye, because that's Detroit's affiliated team.
Yeah, I remember that. Man, that was like my favorite time to be a Growlers fan. Now it's like going shitty for the Growlers arena situations. Like, what a shit show.
The Growlers are a great team, man. They were like off to how many games did they win to start season?
I think they must have at least won 4.
They're playing good this year too, man. They always play good.
Yeah. No, they got a good team, man.
In that 18-19 season, Adam Purdy played 41 games. He scored 6 goals, tallied 15 assists for 21 points, and he got 49 penalty minutes in his last pro season. So it's not bad at all for a vet. Yep.
That's a good way to close it out and hang them up.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hell yeah.
Winning on home ice.
Winning on home ice, man. I can't think of a better way to go out, honestly.
No.
Yeah, he pretty much pulled a Landy McDonald or a Ray Bourque if he's pretty much on their level skill, winning the cup and then retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good comparison.
Yeah, for sure. Same level.
Additional fact on Adam Purdy. He was the most valuable defenseman in the 2003 Junior Ball Hockey Nationals. So he got a bit of ball hockey career underneath him too. He's playing ball hockey in the summer.
This dude's been everywhere.
I wonder if he ever played with TR.
Oh, he's definitely had a few beer with TR.
I'd say.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah.
So did he do anything after his career?
Not that I can find. No, I think he's staying quiet. Actually, he didn't pick up a coaching career or anything. I think after his Kelly Cup was the cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Step
settling
away and
down
never look
now.
back, for sure.
Yeah. They probably open up a bar or something now. Classic Newfoundland hockey player retirement plan.
Honestly, though.
Yeah.
So
anyways, man,
anything
thanks
else
for
on
information.
Adam Purdy there?
No, that's all I got, boys. I think that was the longest one yet, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it was the most information.
That was a good one, buddy.
For sure.
Yeah. I think that's the one I enjoyed the most, actually, because I actually know like a bit about Adam, So going into it, I learned a couple of extra cool facts. So thanks for that, buddy.
Yes, man. Always a pleasure.
Before we go, though, I'm wearing this hat for a reason. Did you see that beauty of a pass Seth Jones laid back last night?
Man, honestly, I'd rather him sign Caleb Jones for $9 million.
You got 8 more years of that beyond this year.
I would honestly rather Caleb Jones at $9 million.
Stan Bowman special.
He just did that bit. Like, fuck yeah. Like, sign
He knew he was done.
Yeah.
He knew he was done. He was like, fuck this organization. Just going to screw him over for a year.
Burying the hatchet.
Oh, God. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate that, Steven.
Yes, man. No worries. Anytime. I love to shit on the Blackhawks fans.
Next time the Leafs fuck off, I got a free shot at you. So,
that's fair.
The Leafs fuck off all the time. So, man, I'm gonna be ruthless.
I can't wait to hear about Pajama Boy again. Let's go. Say it again. Say it again. I haven't heard enough.
So many people were pissed off at me on Facebook. It's unreal about that comment. Like, all I just said was like, fuck, I hope he got a nice pair of Leaf jammies waiting for him in the hospital.
I hated that, man. I was pissed. That's the worst thing I've seen on live TV.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Anyways, boys.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, man.
See you
See ya.
later, buddy.
That was awesome. We'll see you next week. The first NHL amateur draft took place in 1963. Before then, teams had to go around North America and handpick the players they wished to sign. This was a very unequal system where teams like Montreal, Toronto, and Boston had the most money and power when it came to scouting. So the NHL entry draft was created. The first NHL entry draft was in 1979 when the NHL absorbed teams from the WHA. We've had this system in the NHL ever since, and it hasn't been changed very majorly over that time. So today, this is still proven to be the best system for welcoming new players to the league. Today, me and Steve will attempt to go through these years and tell you who we think were the biggest draft steals. Steve, how about you? Who's at number 10 for you?
I've got a really good defensive player and a guy who doesn't take penalties, and he's arguably a top 10 defenseman in the league right now. Actually, I wouldn't even say arguably. I'd say pretty well set in stone. I know somebody will disagree because there's always people who disagree. This man is Jacob Slavin from the Carolina Hurricanes. He was born May 1st, 1994, and he was drafted 120th overall in the 4th round of the 2012 draft. He's currently active, and not everybody on my list is active, but he's one of the few. And he's just well known for being a great defensive defenseman and making smart plays and not taking penalties. I believe last year he had 0 penalty minutes, was it? Or did he only have 1 minor penalty?
I'm not sure.
Something like that. Anyways, I didn't get the stat, but he doesn't take penalties, and he kills a lot of penalties, and they can put him on the power play. He's a very useful defenseman. To this date, he's played in 445 games and has 175 points. You're not looking at insane point totals, but let's say if the guy plays 1,000 games, I think he could reach 1,000 games. I'm looking at somewhere between, do you think around 400 points?
Easy.
400,
Easy,
around
man.
400 points.
Easy.
So, and he has a Lady Bing.
Really?
He's got hardware.
You don't see a defenseman getting Lady Bings much.
Yeah, so, and I believe I think his trophy case is going to grow because I think there's a Stanley Cup in his future. I think he's going to be nominated for Norris eventually. I think he'll be in there one of those years as nomination.
I don't think he will, man. I don't know the way, and that's why he's not arguably a top 10. Well, he is, but like not that you could argue for him because people look at offense too much when they're deciding on the best defense.
It sucks.
They need a separate trophy. If they had a separate trophy, a guy like Jacob Slavin would get it.
Yeah, and it sucks, but I just feel like it's so unfair because he's such a talented defenseman and like defending the fucking goalie. Like that's what they're supposed to do. He's very good at that. So I think he deserves.
He's good at his job, man.
Yeah, and Lady Bing, he's got hardware. Not a lot of defensemen in the league get any hardware, so for him to have that shows how good of a player he really is. And I think there's a Stanley Cup there. So we'll have to wait and see. Who do you have on your list?
No, great pick. I definitely didn't think of that. I wasn't looking at current players, but if I were, he would definitely be there. And it pops out too, because like you said, that draft really didn't have a lot of superstars come out of it. So so the question is like, did he just pop off over time, or how did the scouts miss him, and how did he slip the 4th round?
I think it's a great pick. 2012 draft was a mess.
Yeah, absolutely. At number 10, I have Theo Fleury. He was drafted in the 8th round, 166th overall to Calgary in the 1987 entry draft. He's got 1,084 games played, 455 goals for a total, or not a total, but 1,088 points to go with that. I just fucked that up. And he's also got a Stanley Cup with the Flames.
He was a big part of that Stanley Cup, man.
Not a huge.
Didn't he score a really big goal?
No, he just had a huge celly.
Oh,
it was like it didn't win him the series or anything. It was, well, I guess it helped a lot, but it was an overtime or something. and it was like in game 3 of the 89 playoffs. And he scored one. It was a 1-1 game. He scored the second goal, and he went fucking nuts, slid down the ice. So
yeah, that's iconic, man.
yeah.
That's Nail Yakupov tried to rip him off.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was going after the Battle of Alberta years later. Poor Nail took offense to it. Yeah, I think this guy's a steal, obviously, 8th round, and you're getting someone who plays 1,000 games, and is almost point per game, or is over point per game. Sorry,
Yeah.
he had 1,088.
That's insane, man. Anybody like, and scouting was hard back then too. So you do find that a lot of players it's easier to get a steal back then because of the limited scouting, compared to today with technology and whatnot. You know?
For sure. You can watch any player in the world on YouTube right now if you wanted to. They upload it.
Yeah.
But back then, there was nothing like that. It was just word of mouth, and then you'd send a scout overseas or to their games to watch them. Yeah, but Theo, I think, dropped so much because how small he was. I think
he was
only
small.
5'8".
Yeah,
I think he was 5'8", and
different game back then too.
Yeah, 100%. Even today, we're still hard on smaller players.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cole Caulfield dropped to 15 in 2019. So he's probably going to be, or 2020. So he's probably going to be a draft steal.
I don't consider anybody to go in the first round of draft steal.
We'll see. I consider Mario Lemieux a draft steal because he almost got like, I don't know, what's his point per games average, like up towards 2.
Fucking
it's insane. So, so that's my pick at 10. Who's
That's
your
a
9?
solid pick, buddy.
Thanks, man.
I like that. He's not on my list. So
all right,
that's a nice pick.
I like that. I wouldn't want us to have all the same players anyway. That wouldn't.
It's nice to switch it up.
For sure.
Number 9 on my list is a captain in the league, and he's from the Western Conference Pacific Division. I'll give you one guess, just for a little fun game. Who do you think it is?
Joey P.
No, sir.
No,
Mark
sir.
Stone.
Mark Stone.
He's on my list as a draft steal.
All right, let's hear it. Yeah, he did go half late, didn't he?
Born May 13th, 1992. He was drafted 178th overall in the 6th round of the 2010 draft by the Ottawa Senators.
Wow.
That's pretty insane. He was ridiculed a lot for his skating ability back then.
Yeah.
More so than his actual offensive talents and defensive game. A lot of players get pushed down too because they don't think they can skate at such a high level. And I think that's what they were worried about here. But Ottawa obviously didn't give a fuck, and it worked out for them for so long. He was obviously involved in that big trade a couple years back with Eric Brandstrom going another way. And now he's the first captain in Vegas Golden Knights history, and he's the last active player on my list. So he comes in at 9. And to this day, he's played 510 games, and he's scored 452 points. That's not bad at all.
That is great, for how low he went.
And considering he's known as a forward for his defensive game rather than his offensive game,
he is a great two-way forward.
For him to be known for being great defensively and have that many points as well, almost point per game, that's pretty amazing in that regard. There's no personal awards at the moment, but I think he has a chance of getting a Selke.
I think he's going to get a Selke for sure.
Because he's been in conversations.
Not Saturday night. He got walked by Alex Texier.
Yeah.
Absolutely walked. So he's probably not getting it for that game. But
no, in the grand scheme of things, I'll say. He's very good with his stick too. Like he puts his full stick on the ice, like lays it down flat and like just intercepts passes. Like it's easy. And I think his hardware cabinet's going to grow. And I think there's going to be one Selke in there. And I think there's probably going to be one Stanley Cup in there when it's all said and done.
I don't know about that second one, man.
I think they can do it, but
I think he's good enough to win a Stanley Cup, but I don't think Vegas is going to be the team to do it.
I don't know, man. They're trying really hard. You don't see Vegas make moves. I mean, you don't see teams make moves like Vegas makes moves. Sorry. Pietrangelo, Stone, Pacioretty, Eichel. I mean, look at the guys.
That's why I think they won't do it, man, because you gotta draft, you gotta build a team, you gotta build a family from the draft. Exactly what we're talking about now. You need these kind of players to come in and play a big line. You need to, I don't know, you got to build a culture. You can't trade for culture.
Yeah, I know, and that's the argument there. And it doesn't happen very often where you get a team who's been compiled by big trades to win. But I feel like it has happened
Detroit
in
no
the
two.
past. Yeah, it's happened in the past, man. Look at
Detroit no
Detroit
two. Built the fucking
They had everybody
all-star
under the
team.
sun.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, have you scored like 50 points in a season? Everybody was like, yeah. I was like, all right, we'll trade for you. It's like, great. Want to hear a really hot take?
Sure.
I think after Vegas stops going on this run, I think they're gonna have one of the worst rebuilds we've seen in a while. I think they're gonna be the next Arizona Coyotes, probably in like 10 years. I think Vegas doesn't know how to rebuild. They know how to throw a team together and they're smart with their business decisions, but I can't see them building a team to the draft. I don't know why.
That's a good prediction, man. We'll see what happens 10 years down the road. 100, probably 400 podcasts later.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably just be talking about that. Remember in episode 10 when we fucking called
it? Yeah. Anyways, buddy, who's 9 for you?
That's a good pick. I would have picked Stone. Doesn't come to mind that quick, but he should, because that is an absolute draft steal. That's the definition of a draft steal.
Mm-hmm.
At number 9, I got Pavel Datsu. Have you ever heard of him?
I think I have heard of this guy before. I'm pretty sure he's good at on 5.
The Magic Man.
Yes.
Pavel was drafted in the 9th round, 171st overall to Detroit in the 1998 NHL entry draft. To date, I think he just stepped away from the Arizona. Or no, his rights are in Arizona, but he's been in the KHL for a while now.
I think his rights are gone now. I think they got him paid off.
Yeah, something like that. I seen in the news. Anyway, he's got 953 games played in the NHL. He's got 314 goals and 918 points. He's got 3 Selkies, 4 Lady Bings, and 2 Stanley Cups, which is pretty crazy because this guy not only is so great offensively, but he's also a beast defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 2 Stanley Cups coming in at 2002 and 1 in 2008. Yeah, he played his full career actually, no, he didn't. He played most of his career in Detroit, and I think he had a couple games in a Coyotes uniform too, didn't he?
Did he? No, I don't think he ever put on a Coyotes uniform.
No? Oh, geez. I thought I seen a picture of him with
You probably
Coyotes.
seen a Photoshop picture.
Probably Photoshopped, yeah. I don't know why.
I don't think he put on a Coyotes jersey. I don't much blame him either. Let's be honest. I wouldn't want to put on a Coyotes jersey.
Yeah, me neither, man. Fuck that.
He's still playing in the KHL, and he's probably going to be on the Russia's Olympic
Instagram, team. Every now and again. Like he'll do an insane dangle and score, and they'll just be like, he's still doing it over in the KHL.
Yeah, he lives for hockey. This dude.
Yeah, this guy would have been higher on my list, but he just doesn't have as many games played or points as the rest of the players.
Mm-hmm.
But those 2 Stanley Cups look great, and obviously the 4 Lady Bings and 3 Selkies. So he would have been higher if he was in the 1,000 point club and had over 1,000 points, but still number 9 draft steal of all time. That's not shake a stick at, buddy.
That's a good pick, man.
Thank you. Who's at 8 for you?
Number 8 for me is one of the. I'd say he's probably the best U.S. goalie of all time. What do you think, Ryan Miller?
Ryan Miller is a great goalie. He was my favorite goalie growing up. I loved him.
He was born July 17th, 1980, and he was drafted 138th overall in the 5th round by the Buffalo Sabres. So, I mean, goalies, you kind of draft in that in later rounds in most cases anyways. But to get a goalie who I think has a Hall of Fame career ahead of him.
He's just missing the hardware, man. He's missing that Stanley Cup on his resume.
Yeah, but you can't argue that because there's so many goalies too. Like you look at the King too, man. Are you gonna not put him in the Hall?
That's true. He belongs in there, but he made so many runs to the Cup. Buffalo really didn't.
I think Ryan Miller's on the edge of debating if a guy should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, because he was a really prolific goalie for a long time, man.
He was, man. Does he have any Vezinas?
I'll get to that now. He's
all right. You take your time. This is your 8, not mine.
He's played 796 games and he has 391 wins. It sucks he couldn't play an extra year and get those 400 wins. That would have been really nice.
Yeah.
And he has a 914 career save percentage, which is pretty decent considering he played on a shitty Anaheim team for a nice few years there, and that probably dragged him down.
There was a couple games there he got lit up too, so that's definitely bringing it down.
If he went to, in his later years, if he went to a team who was playing really excellent, like and he backed up a Tampa Bay or something, I mean, his career save percentage might have been a 919 or 920 for those last 3 or 4 years. So
Yeah, for sure.
you know, he's still a really good goalie in his prime, and he has one Vezina. So extremely hard to get a Vezina because it's one award for a goalie. Like you get the William and Jennings, but I mean the Vezina's like the cream of the crop.
I guess
right?
you could get the Hart as well, but
Yeah, and you got so many good goalies, and the good goalies aren't going to change every year. Like I mean, you know, there's a lot of the same guys in the conversation. So to be able to put yourself in the conversation takes a lot of work. So, I think he's a draft steal, man. 138th overall, considering how long he played.
I think anything. Well, I'm going to contradict myself with this next pick I got, but anything after or in the 4th round, I think, is definitely a draft steal.
Yeah,
because the top 3 rounds are.
I don't have anybody from the top 3 rounds on my list.
I got one guy coming up next, but okay. I'll give my reasoning for that.
Yeah. So that's all I got to say on my good buddy Ryan. So who do you have at 8?
Good stuff. I got Mr. Patty Waugh.
Oh yeah.
He was drafted in the 3rd round, number 51st in the 1984 NHL entry draft to Montreal. He played 1,029 games with a 2.54 goals against average and a 910 save percentage, which is pretty good considering the era he played in with facing guys like Gretzky and Lemieux. Same draft as Lemieux, actually.
Yeah.
50 picks later. I just think I don't know, goalies these days, like Marc-Andre Fleury, Vasilevsky, Jack Campbell, all these guys were picked in the 1st round. So I guess the scouting is a little bit better these days, but goalies don't get picked high, but I don't know. I would consider Patrick Waugh one of the, if not the best goaltender of all time. So to have the best goalie of all time slip to the 3rd round is crazy.
Who do you have there in the top 3 goalies? I wonder.
Top 3 goalies for me.
You got Martin Brodeur, Sawchuk, maybe? Is he slipping there?
No, he's cut. My number 1 is Patrick Waugh. Number 2 is Brodeur, and number 3 is Hasek.
Yeah, Hasek's fucking great, isn't he? I don't know
He
why
never
I
won a cup until 2002. I wish he won a cup in Buffalo. But
yeah, he was on that team that when they just got a bunch of all-stars.
They built an all-star. I'm gonna have to cover that sometime. Just go through their lineup because we should
do a full podcast on the 2002 Detroit Red Wings and what players were on there, and I think that'd be cool actually.
Yeah, maybe over the summer or something when there's no hockey to talk about.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm a little bit of a dummy, and I didn't put down his cup winnings, but I know he won a cup in '86 with Montreal, '93 with Montreal, and then 01 with Colorado. And he might have won another one there at the end of the
I think it was
90s.
3, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he definitely got 3. Remember this guy talking shit to JR? He was like, I can't hear you because I have 2 Stanley Cup rings in my ears.
Yeah.
So I know he's at least got 2. I know he's got 3, 2 in Montreal and 1 with Colorado for sure. But he's definitely got a Hart trophy in there or something. I didn't write down his trophies. So when you're talking about number 7, maybe I'll look that up really quick. But yeah, I think this guy's a draft steal, and he's the only guy I got in here that is outside the 4 rounds. So I don't know.
Definitely a steal where he was taken. I mean, one of the best of all time.
Drafted in the 3rd round, I think is a bit of a steal. That's why he's high up on this list too. If he was drafted in like the 4th or 5th, man, this guy would be like 3 or 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Who do you got at 7?
I got a Red Wing. I got Zetterberg.
Nice.
Actually, at 7.
I love to hear
it. One of the great leaders from me growing up. I mean, I know he wasn't captain the full time I was growing up, but I always felt like Zetterberg was a really good leader more than he was a really good goal scorer.
Yeah. He wasn't. He wasn't known for his. Well, he was known for his points, but he was a really vocal leader and showed it on the ice too.
Yeah, so he's kind of a guy to look up to if you're a young leader. He's born October 9th, 1980. He was drafted 210th overall in the 7th round of the draft by the Detroit Red Wings. That's pretty insane. The fucking 7th round. This guy, carves out an NHL career where he plays 1,082 games and he scored 960 points, man. I didn't realize when I was doing this up, I didn't realize Zetterberg scored so many points. I knew he was a good player. I figured he was more in the 50-point range for most of his career. But it turns out he must have been getting 70 to 80 points a nice few times.
Oh, man. He was playing with some great players in like 08 and when they won the cup. And like his first couple of years, he wasn't really getting a lot of ice time. But then in like 08, he started playing a really big role with the team. Got named captain, I think, in 2010. And ever since then, man, him and Datsu would easily get 80 points a year.
Yeah. What could there have been a better guy to learn from than Nick Lidstrom, though?
No, some people call him the perfect human.
Yeah, so I mean, for him to learn from that, I mean, that's probably a reason why Zetterberg was so good as he was at being a leader too.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Lidstrom learned from Yzerman, and then like you said, Zetterberg learned from Lidstrom. So
yeah, and he has a one Conn Smythe and playoff MVP 2008, one Stanley Cup, and one King Clancy Award, which is like King Clancy's like leadership ability.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a pretty good resume, man. There's nothing wrong with that. He almost scored 1,000 points. I'm sure he would have liked to, but I'm pretty sure he had back issues last few years of his career.
Yeah, he was really slowing down, man, towards the end.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that's my pick at number 7. I think a solid Red Wing, great player.
Yeah, and I got him a little later on my list just because I'm a little biased, so I had to do it. But
okay, that's fair enough.
So
who do you have at number 7, buddy?
At number 7, we're going with another Red Wing here, back-to-back Red Wings. And this is a pick I was debating putting on the list and probably why it's so high. But in the 4th round, number 74th overall in the 1989 draft, the Detroit Red Wings selected Sergey Fedorov. This guy got 1,248 games played. He's got 483 goals and 1,179 points. He's got 2 Selkies, a Ted Lindsay, a Hart, and 3 Stanley Cups, all with the Red Wings.
Yeah, Fedorov.
I was debating putting this. Yeah, he owned the 90s. Like, yeah, he was the hottest forward in the 90s, bar none. Maybe Maryland, yeah, but this guy owned the league, and he was so flashy, and he could play forward or defenseman.
Really?
Yeah, for a lot of times, like they had a Russian 5 team in the 90s, and he played defense on that line. Wow, he was unreal. Or he was definitely on that line, but he played defense on the power play units a lot too. This guy's a stud, and he wasn't known, and he didn't get the as many Selkies as a guy like Datsuk or something, but he got 2 Selkies. This guy was unbelievable 2-way forward that could still put the puck in the net any given night.
Man, yeah. The Wings were really good at getting some guys from Europe.
Yeah, they had a big scouting team in Sweden. A lot of these guys are from Sweden.
That's a golden age of the Wings, man. Those 90s and 2000s, man. Like, you'll never see Wings as good as that. Yeah, honestly, I don't think so, man. It's hard to top that when you get some of the best players in NHL history that have played on those teams. I don't think you're ever going to see Wings teams like that again. That's not a roast, man. That's just celebrating how good they were. I'm just saying you got to wait until Raymond. Because Raymond probably tops out at a 65-point guy. Let's be honest. That guy's probably the biggest draft steal of all time. Yeah, he's number 1. Is he? Sauter's second. He should have went number 0 in that draft. Yeah, I don't know how he slipped to 4. No, but Sergey Fedorov. I don't know. I love this guy. I got a huge hockey card collection of this guy just because he's so flashy. And there was some years in there where he wore white skates. Like, yes, man. I've seen those pictures. What a beauty, man. Just said fuck it, white skates. He's a trendsetter too. He's a record breaker and a trendsetter. Even though I don't know if he broke any records, but I don't know. Apparently off the ice, this guy was a beauty too. Like, he would go to a restaurant and and just take the rookies out and stuff. And he was really good to rookies and just like pay for their meals and stuff like that and like take pictures with fans. Yeah. And you'd think like a guy like Fedorov wouldn't have time for fans. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to eat like this burger or some shit or whatever Russian people eat. Yeah.
But no, he actually took the time
I
to.
feel like Russian people eat like a lot of crabs and shit like that.
Yeah, seafood.
I don't know about like just like crabs and like hard bread and shit like that. It seems like what Russians eat.
Yeah,
That might be
probably.
like racist. Is that racist? I don't even. That's not racist.
No,
Nationalist.
there's another word for it. I can't remember it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's what people call
Anyways,
Don Cherry.
if I was an NHL player, man, I'd want to be like Sergey Fedorov. He seemed like,
Me too.
from what you're
Two-way
saying,
forward, flashy, put the puck in the net. I would too, man.
Yeah, great player.
Who do you got at number 6?
I got the absolute face of the Ottawa Senators organization.
Nice.
Alfie.
Alfie.
Danielle Alfredson, man. He was born December 11th, 1972, and he was drafted 133rd overall in the 6th round of the 94 draft by the Ottawa Senators. To get your face of the franchise in the 6th round, how old was that organization in 94?
3 years.
Yeah, you don't think you're going to get your face in the 6th round. And
No,
he ended up
absolutely
being
not.
that. He played not 100. Fuck, I was gonna say played 100 games. He played 1,246 games, putting up 444 goals. I put that in there because it's pretty cool goal total to end your career on. And I never put assists.
I thought so too.
1,157 points. And his awards include a Calder Trophy, King Clancy Trophy, and Mark Messier Leadership Award. So he obviously didn't get the Stanley Cup. I do think is he in the Hall of Fame, man? I don't think he is. Is he? Is he? Jeez, I feel bad.
He got
now
in a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Or no, he only retired from Detroit in 2018. So
yeah, I feel like he's due one day, man. I don't think we should grade Stanley Cups. I know we can to a certain point, but I feel like some players just like have that. Not everybody's going to win a cup. It's just the way it is. And what a career, man. Like, I remember just watching Leafs games when I was younger. Battle of Ontario, man. Danielle Alfredson, man. He was like the enigma on the ice. He had the flow.
Alfie versus Sundin.
He had the flow a lot of times, man. He had the greasy old flow. And, oh, man, just getting down the ice. And he had good hands, too. I think his hands were underrated. And he made a lot of good decisions with the puck. And you can see how he lasted so long in Ottawa. It's kind of sad that he never finished his full career there.
I know. Happy to see him in Detroit, though. Love that.
The cat's staring at me behind the camera. Anyway. Yeah, man, I'd love to have an Alfredson jersey, man. That's how much I like this guy. It's unfortunate he never played for the Leafs. I would have liked it a lot better if the Leafs drafted him 133rd overall.
I don't think Leafs fans wanted him.
Why?
They hated Elfie, man, because he used to taunt him and taunt Sundin.
You know what? And I always liked him, so I don't know why. I just something about him.
I don't know.
I always liked him, and I'm a Leafs fan.
There was one play that I don't know. He like faked to throw a stick at the entire like Leafs bench. I think that might have been it. And then everybody's like, "Fuck you, Elfie." You fucking
dick.
Yeah.
There was a playoff series too. What playoff series was that in the early 2000s where it was like Leafs versus Ottawa? Man, fuck, I was only a young kid.
That was in like 2003, maybe.
Yeah, that's the last time the Leafs got out of the first round, right? I think so. I think they beat the Senators, and that was the last time they got in the first round.
Yeah, it was. It was when they had Curtis Joseph, I think.
Yeah. So, anyways, Alfie, really good player, man. Hopefully, he gets an Hall of Fame if he's not already, because he has a little bit of hardware and he's got the points to make up for it. So, who do you have at 6?
At number 6, I have Yuri Curry. Actually, before we get to that, can I go back to Patrick Waugh for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
So his hardware is even more impressive than I thought. Listen to this. He has 3 Vezina trophies. He has 5 William and Jennings. He has 3 Conn Smythes and 4 Stanley Cups.
Oh, yeah. He's got fucking tons, man.
I don't know. Just that alone, if you look at just those trophies alone, like that's insane. And I don't think Hasek or Broder or Sawchuk or anyone's got those kind of trophies. So
no,
congrats to you, Patrick Waugh. But yeah, for Yuri Curry, he was drafted 4th round, 69th overall to Edmonton in the 1980 draft. So this is the oldest player I have. He played 1,251 games, 601 goals, and 1,398 points. He won a Lady Byng in '84 and 5 Stanley Cups, all with the Oilers. Pretty impressive career for this guy, being drafted in the 4th round. I mean, this guy was, I think he's still the goal leader for, or no, never mind. That's bullshit because what Gretzky is, but I think
No,
might have,
Gretzky's the goal leader in NHL. I don't know if he is with the Oilers.
yeah, that's right. I think I think he might be the goal leader with the Oilers. He's got 601. So I mean, that's pretty good. And
Where did he end his career, man?
But no, he also played with LA. He went to LA before with Gretzky, or not with, but shortly after, I think.
Mm-hmm. He was just Gretzky's sidekick, man, like Batman and Robin.
Yeah, and this is the comparison a lot of people make for Draisaitl and McDavid too. They say, "Oh, Draisaitl wouldn't be that good if McDavid wasn't playing with him," and people say that about Curry too.
Yeah,
but you can't take it away from him, man. 600 goals in the NHL isn't easy to do. So
no, man, not at
this
all.
guy absolutely worked for it, and I don't know. They were having trouble when Gretzky first came into the league, finding him a player to play with, like wingers. They tried like everybody on that team, like Glenn Anderson, fucking some of the older guys. But Yuri Curry was the only one that stuck.
Imagine getting that opportunity, man.
Exactly, man.
You
and
can't
together
waste
they
that.
won 5 Stanley Cups. Exactly. Yuri took full advantage of it. I think this guy's a draft steal for sure. I mean, like your Danielle Alfredson point, like I don't know. He didn't come in the 6th round, but Yuri came in the 4th. And you don't think you're going to get your top line goal scorer in the 4th round, right?
No.
And he was drafted behind so many, I don't know, good players too. I think the reason he didn't get drafted as early is because back in the 80s, man, people were hardly scouting for the like Finnish players, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't really looked upon. That's the same as Pavel Bure. Nobody was looking for Finnish players at that point. It was all North American and mostly Canadian.
It's a different game, man.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't until like the Summit Series in '72 that we actually started looking for players. So this is only 8 years after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great pick, man. He's not on my list. I'll tell you that.
Oh, come on, man.
No.
All right. Let's see who is at your list at 5.
I got the King, Lundqvist.
Nice. I like
he has
that
to
pick.
be in there, man. Born March 2nd, 1982. He was drafted 205th overall in the 7th round of the 2000 NHL draft by the Rangers. Now, this guy is like the face of New York too for the longest time besides Messier. And man, I feel like a dick now, but there's a defenseman who was really insane in New York back in the day.
Brian Leach.
Yes, man, Brian Leach. He's a fucking forgettable person, I guess.
A lot of people forget about him. He had one of the best defensive rookie seasons in history.
Yeah, and I mean Lundqvist. I mean he's the face when I was growing up at the Rangers, anyways. In the mid 2000 like 10s, and
his first year was in 05.
Yeah, like around there. He was very well known. He played 887 NHL games with 459 wins and a 918 save percentage. So he had a lot of wins, man. And sadly, he only has one Vezina trophy. Probably could have won more. He was nominated a nice few times. I think it was like 4 or 5 times he was nominated. But I don't know. I think they just want to hand out Vezinas to random goalies every year. They share them out. Seems like it. You don't see many goalies win Vezinas back to back.
No, it's really hard to do because you might feel it for a season, and goalie's so mental that it's just gone the very next season. So it's, I don't know, very mental position.
I think he's one of the best goaltenders of all time. 459 wins, man.
Yeah, I mean that is a shit ton, man, and you can't take it away from him. He's
arguably top 5 goaltender of all time. Arguably.
Not on my list, man. I'd say he sneaks into the top 15.
Oh, fuck no, man. This dude's like, what, 4th in all-time wins or 5th for goalies?
Is he?
Yeah, man. He's got like... Fuck. I wouldn't even... It should be an automatic, I think, in top 10. Fair. As far as I'm concerned.
We'll have to take another look. I don't know. I just think of guys that are already in the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of goalies that are already in the Hall of Fame. We'll see.
He's played a lot of games too, man. The Rangers rode with him for a long time, man. The backup didn't get much ice time in
from 2012 to 2016, like those years, that they're in the running for the cup and like we're making like great stabs at it. I don't know a goalie who played better. Maybe like I don't know Jonathan Quick, but
Yeah,
as we
Jonathan
talked
Quick was
about,
really good too back then. Yeah, well, that's my guy at 5th. I think he's a huge steal in the 7th round.
oh yeah, for
Absolutely
sure.
insane.
I mean, imagine if you told me like somebody was get in the 7th round this year. Um, if somebody in the 7th round was gonna, I don't know,
Be a face
get
of a franchise.
500, almost 500 wins and be a face of franchise, I'd say go fuck yourself. No way.
Yeah, it's pretty insane when you look at it that way. So props to the king. Who do you
Yeah,
have
for
at number
sure.
5?
At number 5, I had Danielle Alfredson.
Oh yeah.
So me and you are sliding this guy pretty close.
Mhm.
I guess I'll just go over it again. He was in round 6, 133 overall, to Ottawa in 1994. He played 46 games, 444 goals and 1,157 points. And like you said, he not only did he get the King Clancy, but he also got the Marc Messier Award for leadership. And he also got the Calder Trophy in 95. This guy was a big part of the reason I wanted to be an Ottawa Senators fan growing up. I just loved the way he played. He was flashy and he scored 6 goals. And he also dropped the mitts a lot too when he was captain, not like in his early days, but I don't know. I felt like this guy was a really tough Swede. Usually Swedes are like a little bit more flashy, but this guy was tough as nails too.
Yeah, he was a tough player, man.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, just like, I don't know, pretty much, I don't know, just threw gas on the fire for the
Yeah, that's the type of
battle
guy he was.
for the Battle of Ontario. Just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, was always getting into it with Toronto fans and Toronto media.
And I
I
liked
don't
him,
know.
man.
I did too, man. I thought he
And
was
I was a
fun.
Leafs fan. So
Yeah, that's saying something.
just likable. He's a likable person, I think. And I didn't get to watch a lot of those games, obviously. But I did watch several, Alfie games, against the Leafs. So, you definitely notice him when he's out on the ice. I'll tell you that. There's not a shift you
Yeah,
don't notice him.
exactly, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, just I don't know, come over in your first season, unfamiliar with North American ice and game style and with the Calder. You could tell this guy was gonna have a sick career. And I can't believe he was in the NHL made training camp. After being a 6th round pick, usually they'd look at a player like Elfie and just say, nope, go fuck yourself, buddy, right back to Sweden. Like come
Mhm.
back in 3 years when you're bigger and stronger. But they let him have
Yeah.
his chance and he fought for every bit and he worked his way up to captain. It's too bad he didn't win a Stanley Cup, but I don't know.
It's not handed to you when you're drafted that late. You got to really work for it.
Yeah. I'd say this guy is going to be in the Hall of Fame class of this year, coming up in 22. I think this guy gets in.
Yeah, that'd be nice to
And I
see.
think 2 more Swedes get in too to the Hall of Fame. It's going to be Alfredson and 2 of the Sedin twins.
That'd be a cool class. That'd be the class of the Swedes.
Yeah, for sure.
That's sick. Nice pick, buddy.
Thanks, man. Who do you got at 4?
I got my dad's favorite player in history, Doug Gilmore. One of the best
Good
Leafs,
pick.
arguably. Born June 25th, 1963.
Did you
He's
say
drafted on
25th?
June 25th.
Fucking A, rights. That's same as mine.
Oh, wow.
Me and Dougie.
Yes,
Love
sir.
that. Love that. I love the birth dates you're giving too. I wish I did that for my players.
Yeah, you're like the Dougie of a different generation.
Yeah, I'm the Dougie of Datsu's draft year, I think.
Yeah. He was drafted 134th overall in the 7th round of the 82 draft by the Blues. So, excuse me, I had to burp. Another 7th round pick, man. That's pretty insane. He played 1,474 games and he scored 964 assists. This dude knew how to pass the puck.
Yeah.
In total, 1,414 points. So he was 60 points away from being point per game. So that's not bad at all, especially when you have a career for over 1,400
Yeah, that's
games.
fucked. That's unreal.
Yeah. So he was good for a very long time. And his awards include 1 Stanley Cup and 1 Selke Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
He got a Stanley Cup with the Flames.
He sure did, yeah. I got a Selkie in 92.
Mm-hmm. So he, I feel like he was close to winning more awards, but those years you got guys like Gretzky on the go, and whatever Lemieux.
Yeah,
It was hard for anybody else to win an award back in those days. Then
exactly.
you
And
had
then they just
Yager
swallowed it
too.
all up.
Yeah, but you get a Selke and a Stanley Cup. That's all you need. And he was a really good player for a long time. He was famous for being on that Leafs team with Wendell Clark and playing some really good hockey, man. That was
He was tough too, man. They called him
yeah,
Killer. That was his nickname.
yeah. Like fuck, man. I'd say that Leafs team is the best. I'd say this Leafs team now is the best Leafs team they put on ice all the way since then. Like, I mean, that Leafs team was really good.
That was
Better
in the
than better
90s,
than
man. They had a good team. I don't know.
I don't
Actually, no,
know.
I'm gonna agree with you. They haven't shown it yet, but on paper, I'd say, yeah,
This is the best Leafs team since then.
since like the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Sundin's teams
On
in
paper.
the early 2000s were. Yeah, on paper, if you draw it up, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Not when you put it on the ice.
Exactly. It looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great in the fucking on the whiteboard.
Yeah, and I love Doug Gilmore, man. It seems like he's a really nice fellow, and that's why I got him at number 4.
Great pick, man. I love that. I got him a bit later just because his goal totals are unreal. Like when I looked at it, I was like, that is not possible. I can't believe that. But that's awesome.
Yeah. So who do you have there for?
At number 4, picked in the 9th round in the 1984 draft, 171st overall. I have Luc Robitaille.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Rounds were a lot shorter then. That's why there's 9 of them, and there was probably only like in 84 there was 16 teams in the league. So yeah, just a lot of rounds. He played in 1,431 games. He had 668 goals and 1,394 points. So unreal goal scorer and unreal assist guy too. 1,394 points. That's crazy. He was a bit under goal per game, not a bit, like 80 points or something. 80. Jesus, I just said goals per game. Anyway, moving on. He broke into the league in 86 and won a Calder then, and he also got a Stanley Cup with the Wings in 02, because who the hell on this list didn't play for the
Wings
02 Red Wings?
Yeah.
This guy, he was a French Canadian, so you think he would be scouted a lot more and not dropped in the 9th round. But a lot of people were questioning his skating. He wasn't fast. He wasn't like I don't know. He was just smart with the puck, and that's where he made his money. But he wasn't quick by any means. He was, I don't know, just an average skater, and you can't be an average skater if you want to be a superstar, unless you're Luc Robitaille. In that case, you can be.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about him, man. I don't.
Yeah, he was unreal.
Know too much about his career.
I think he played his full career in LA, except for when he went to the Wings, and I think he retired shortly after that, because that's almost 20 seasons of hockey there. Yeah, but this guy's unreal. He's really underrated, and I don't know, the grand scope of things. You never hear like Luc Robitaille when you're talking about like greatest players of all time, and I guess rightly so. Like there's a lot of great players, but I mean 1,300, almost 1,400 points, not to shake a stick at.
No, man, it's not.
It's great, yeah. And the Calder in 86, so I guess just proving critics wrong just from year 1 on the ice. And then at the end of his career, won a Stanley Cup and called it quits. So great career.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Who do you got at 3?
I got the Magic, man. I'm a little bit higher on him than you, clearly. I know the point totals aren't as insane as some of the other ones, but what stood out to me, I'll tell you, he was drafted 171st. I know we went over this in the 98 draft. But he was a plus 249 in his career.
Really?
Yeah.
Unreal, man.
I thought that stat was pretty insane.
I can't believe that never jumped out to me when I was looking through either.
Yeah, he was on for 249 more goals. That's actually a pretty nice margin, man.
That's crazy.
Considering the ice time, it wasn't a 4th line guy. I mean, he's getting a lot of ice time.
Yeah, and he was playing against the best players. He was shutting them down.
Yeah, so, that's a really good number. He had 2 Stanley Cups, 4 Lady Bings, 3 Selkies. Best hands ever in the league, in my opinion.
So, man. He's up there for sure.
Kane, probably behind him, Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
And I think that's who leads that. I remember just watching fucking Sportsnet when I was waking up when I was younger, and Datsu. It's like another week, another Datsuki and Dangle.
Yeah. A Datsuki and Deke of all time.
Yeah.
You could go on YouTube and honestly watch this guy's highlights forever.
Yeah.
And it never gets old because they're so fun to watch. You're like, how the hell did he do that?
Yeah.
I remember when Couture had his rookie year in the league.
Yes, man.
He was inside his triangle
Dance.
and fucking broke his ankles, man. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Datsuk made a career out of embarrassing people.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He's like a con man. He's a con man with the puck.
Yeah, there was one play in his highlight reels where too he like goes to fake a pass behind him and then just burns someone, man. It looks so clean. And like it kind of looks like the McDavid goal on Riley when he just looked for a pass and then just like burned him. It was like something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah, don't bring that up.
I'm sorry, man. Sorry. But the Magic, man, is definitely an all-time draft steal.
Oh yeah, I had 918 points, 953 games. Kind of he wasn't an insane point scorer. He put up great totals, but he's a highlight reel. The dude was a highlight reel, so that's why I liked him. That's why I'm high on my list. Yeah. So, do you have anything else to bring up on Datsu?
No, I think I said my piece earlier.
Yeah. So, who do you have at number 3?
At number 3, I got the guy that switched me from a Ottawa Senators fan to a Detroit Red Wings fan. I have Mr. Henrik Zetterberg.
Oh,
you already went over him. I think I'm biased on this because there's no way he's at 3. If you got like hockey analysts to look at this list, they'd be like, there's no way, buddy. But I think I'm biased because I love this guy. Zetterberg, probably one of the best. I mean, it's hard to follow Nick Lidstrom as captain of the Detroit Red Wings, but I think he did a pretty good job. He won a Conn Smythe, the King Clancy, and a Stanley Cup. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. He was drafted in the 7th round of the 1999 draft, 210th overall. So that's pretty crazy, man, because in these days, like rounds were long and there was only 7 of them. So he was in the last round to get picked. So it's crazy that every single team had their choice to draft this player and just said, no, we don't think this kid from Sweden can do it. Yeah, exactly. So he played in 1,082 contests, got 337 goals, 960 points. Like I said, just then Conn Smythe, King Clancy, and Stanley Cup in 08. Too bad he missed out on the one in 02. It took him a few more years to break in than it took.
Datsuk got that one.
Yeah, Datsu got the one in 02. And Zetterberg missed it, unfortunately, but he still got the one in 08. Yeah, just honestly, the best leader I've watched in a Detroit Red Wings jersey. I miss Stevie Y, obviously, and I didn't see a lot of Lindstrom because I was too busy following around Elfie and the boys in the fucking 2000s. But I'm happy I got to see this guy retire, and he's definitely going to the Hall of Fame, and we'll have his jersey retired. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'd say his jersey retired
because he's still.
I think he's one of the guys you could wait a few years on before you put in the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean he's not like
he didn't have record-breaking totals.
He's not a first ballot. Yeah, exactly.
But he's still really good.
Definitely will get it at some point.
Yeah. Nice pick.
Got anything to add on Zetterberg, or you get it all out earlier?
Not really, man. Just one of the best leaders that I've ever seen.
Yeah, and him and Datsyuk were just money together too.
Yeah.
One couldn't have got the point totals without the
other. Then you throw in the young guns like Tatar and Nyquist on that team.
The next rising superstar, man. Nyquist is still gonna win a. Imagine him
he's waiting
a fucking rocket or something. Takes him a couple years to break in, man.
Yeah,
but when he's 40, he's gonna win a rocket.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, who do you got at number 2?
I got the fucking greatest player to ever lace him up, Brett Hall. That's a joke, obviously. Dude seems like a laugh though if you get on a buzz with him.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd love to drink beers with this guy, man. He's so
I bet the stories you'd hear, man. The stories
I can't imagine.
Yeah. He was born August 9th, 1964, and he was drafted 117th overall in the 6th round of the 1984 NHL draft by the Calgary Flames. He played in 1,269 games, scoring 741 goals. Absolutely mad. and he
Yeah.
put up 1,391 points. He was just recently passed by Ovechkin on the all-time goal scoring list. He goes in the 4th place all-time now. He
And
was third.
yeah.
His awards include a Lady Byng, a Hart, Lester B. Pearson, which is now the Ted Lindsay for most valuable or most outstanding player voted on, and
Yeah.
2 Stanley Cups. So big trophy cabinet, big goal totals. He's a pretty big dude. Had it all.
Yeah. Seems larger than life, man.
Yeah.
I'd like you said, this guy is one of the best goal scorers in the league, and he proves it just with his totals. And
Definitely a hard ticket back in the day.
yeah, and I'll get to him on later, man. But I can't believe he was passed over in 5 rounds by every NHL team after they just watched his father Bobby tear up the league in the 60s.
Makes no sense. No sense.
I don't know how you could have passed on this kid.
Why can't you put like even if you didn't think he was a 1st-round talent, man, just like 3rd-round pick or something, man.
Yeah, right.
He's got NHL blood.
I can't believe he dropped this far, and I don't know if he just wasn't playing a high enough level of hockey to have drawn scouts or something, but they should have seen this guy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So, St. Louis had a lot of good years with
yeah, they did.
With Brett
Surprising
Hall.
they never won a cup.
Yeah, it's surprising, man.
Great players like Adam Oates, Brett Hall. They had Gretzky at one point. They had a lot of pieces.
Pretty insane. Brett Hall definitely. He's definitely one of the. He's top 5 goal scorer all time. He's 4th on the list, obviously, but
yeah, I'd put him at number 4, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, like I was thinking about players too. Like he's not like top 10, but he's like top 20. What do you think?
Who?
Brett Hall.
Brett Hall? Yeah, I'd have to look at a list or something just to see who other people ranked him around, just to see like for.
He's one of the most prolific goal scorers, I think.
Yeah, for sure. He is. He was. What Ovi is now is what he was in the 90s.
When did he retire?
He retired. He was on the O2.
That's what I was thinking, man. I was like, was he on the O2 team?
He was. He played with Datsu.
Yes, man. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
he was on like 3rd line grind, so
yes,
it wasn't
man.
long after that, man. It was probably I don't know, hung off in 04, 05 or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Anyways, that's who I got at number 2. Who do you have?
Great pick. At number 2, I got your dad's favorite player, Doug Gilmore, killer.
Yeah.
I couldn't put this guy any further than 2. I was debating putting him 1 just for his point totals. So he was drafted in the 7th round, 134th overall to St. Louis in 1982. He played 1,474 games, 450 goals, and 14 points, which is sick. This guy won a Selke in 92 and a Stanley Cup with the Flames. And that same year that he won the Stanley Cup in 89, you know who else was on the team to start that season with the Flames? Brett Hall, and he got traded to St. Louis. He must have been pissed. He must have been pissed. Like, fuck, man, I got traded and then they win the cup. Like, great. But
he won his cups.
Yeah, Doug Gilmore was a big part of that team to win the cup, and they probably couldn't have done it without him. So, it might sound weird, but trading Brett Hall was probably the best thing the Calgary Flames ever did. It sounds weird, but yeah, for sure. This guy was a monster, man. He was tough and he could score. I think he had a 150-point season one year. I'm not sure what I'm pretty sure he had it.
Didn't he get 80-something goals one year?
No, Brett Hall got 86 one year.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Brett Hall.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Dougie.
No, geez, no, man. You were talking about Brett Hall for a second. I was thinking of Brett Hall, so sorry about that.
Yeah, no, Brett Hall got 86 goals. Yeah. I don't know, sometime, and he also got 50 goals in 50 games, which is insane.
Anyways, Dougie, sorry about that.
No, that was pretty much it, man. Just how big he was on the ice, and he wasn't afraid of anyone, and he'd take the legs off you if you tried to gain any bit of ice on him. He did not give a fuck, and I don't know. And you don't see a guy so tough that could also score. It's just like classic, like 1980s, 1990s hockey, where you had to be tough. You couldn't just all be skill. You had to
messing around.
Unless you're a Gretzky, you had to mix in some, physicality out there.
Yeah, he's a great player, man. I love watching his highlights. I never got to watch him play, but I love watching his highlights.
Me too.
Look him up every now and then.
Probably one of the most controversial plays
behind the net, wasn't it?
No, it
Remember
was
one of his plays behind the net one time where he like fucking faked somebody? Oh man, what was that? He was going one way, then he went the other way, then he went another way, and then he came around and spun around in front of the net.
Oh, was that him? Was that his highlight? I can see the goal in my mind right now
Yeah, it's like he went
it.
back and forth behind the net. No defenseman came after him. He did it like 4 or 5 times, then he went around and did a wraparound goal.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Crosby scored a goal like that too against someone.
Mhm.
I can't remember. It was against Ottawa. It might have been Spezza. Spezza was chasing him down or something.
Yeah.
No, but Dougie was playing in the 93 Stanley Cup Finals. He was on Toronto and Gretzky was on in LA. And Gretzky wind up for a shot or something like that and high stick Doug. And Doug went down with a bleeding chin and the refs missed it. Nobody called it. And the ref was right there.
I remember
and
that.
That ref, it was Wes Colley, was it?
I don't know, man. I feel like he never.
I think it was him, and he got death threats from Leafs fans.
I'd say
people actually wanted him dead, and he was saying like I think he was on Chicklets, the ref that he was either on Chicklets or Bob McKenzie was interviewing. I seen it somewhere.
That was that was the year Leafs could have won the cup.
Exactly, that was the last time Leafs had a really good shot, but that goal, that penalty wasn't called.
I can't believe that, man. You're gonna piss me off now.
And in the same period, like 2 minutes later, Gretzky, the one that should have been in the penalty box, scored the goal that won at the series.
I remember that, man. Fuck Gretzky, honestly.
Yeah, so maybe a part of one of the most controversial calls in NHL history.
Yeah,
so,
that was crazy. Insane, man. I remember watching looking at stories that, man.
Yeah,
that was definitely a penalty, man. No doubt.
Yeah, anybody that has eyes could have solved that, but I mean, it's so quick. The refs couldn't call anything. They never had instant replay. They never had coach's challenge back then. So what are you going to do, right? And then Gretzky, the one that high sticks Dougie Gilmore, fucking scores the game-winning goal to win the series.
That's gross.
Crazy. Yeah, but Doug's a beauty, and I wouldn't have him any lower than 2. Like I said, who do you got at 1? Because I'm interested because I haven't said the player that you have at 1. I don't know who could possibly be higher than these players.
Dominic Hasek, man, Dominator.
Okay, all right.
He's on my list, man. He's born January 29th, 1965. He's drafted 199th overall in the 10th round. Obviously, shorter drafts.
Wasn't he the last player to be picked in the draft?
I'm not sure. I think he was close to it.
Yeah,
in the 1983 draft by Chicago. Now, he was drafted by Chicago, but he played most of his years in Buffalo. We all know that.
Yeah.
A couple years in Detroit. He was on the 0-2.
Who wasn't on that team, man?
Yeah, so he played 735 NHL games, 389 wins, and he has a career save percentage of 922, which is pretty insane. That's a really good save percentage.
For a career, that is nuts. It's one thing to talk about a season, but to do that over a whole career is nuts.
Yeah, he has 6 Vezinas, 2 Harts, 3 William M. Jennings, 2 Lester B. Pearsons for voted most outstanding player, and 2 Stanley Cups. He's probably a 3rd best goalie in the world, or 2nd to ever play.
I would say 2 or 3. You could even make the vote for 1 with 6 Vezinas.
You could, man. Insane. 6 Vezinas, 2 Harts, and 2 Lester B. Pearsons, which is now Ted Lindsay's.
Yeah.
Those are trophies that goalies don't win every year.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a hard trophy for a goalie to win.
Yeah, so he was one of the best goalies to ever do it, man. And too bad he couldn't get a cup in Buffalo. I don't think there's no cups in Buffalo. Let's not kid ourselves. Too bad he couldn't get one in Buffalo, but he still had a great career otherwise. And I remember, seeing so many Hasek highlights, man. The dude just folded like this, man. His legs.
Yeah. The guy was an accordion, man.
Yeah, pretty insane. Yeah, the guy's just an absolute fucking accordion. So, yeah, that's number 1 for me. I actually thought it was easy. He's the first guy that came to my mind.
Really?
Yeah, when I thought about steals, because I knew he was a really late pick. And I just pegged him in at number 1. I didn't bother to move him because I think he's the best player on this list. By far, actually.
That's high praise, man. All right. Thanks, man. I wouldn't have picked that guy. He wasn't even at 10 for me. I don't know how he slipped through the cracks.
Yeah. Who's your number 1? Let's hear him.
My number 1 you already talked about was Brett Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Brett Hall was drafted in the 6th round in 1984, 117th overall to Calgary. He played in 1,269 contests, scored 741 goals, and got 1,391 points. Won a Ted Lindsay in 1990, Hart 1990, Lady Byng in 89, and 2 Stanley Cups, one with the Wings in 02 and another with the Stars in 99.
That Stars Cup was controversial too, man.
It was, yeah. And Brett scored the goal, man. Brett had his foot in the crease.
Fuck's sakes.
Yeah, my top 2 players drafted late, but ranked
Very
very
controversial.
High in controversy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I put together this list pretty much just off of games played and points, and then looked at trophies and everything and what they won later.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. To have probably the greatest goal scorer of the 1990s drafted in the 6th round is crazy.
Insane, man. How many first round picks the teams go through and they never had a hit like this? It's pretty.
I know, right? How many first round? Like, I don't know. You don't find players like this even in the 1st round. Like, this is a phenom.
Jim.
And like I said earlier, man, I'm like, this is added shock because it'd be different if it was just some random guy, right? Just that's good at hockey. But his father was an NHL superstar and a WHA superstar. So I don't know how everybody just said, oh yeah, his dad was good, but there's no way this guy shooting pucks through concrete walls will be any good in the NHL. We can probably just skip over this guy.
Yeah, I'll never understand that. So many teams had the opportunity to change their franchise if they took.
I'm surprised Chicago never picked him with any of their picks because Bobby played for Chicago for a long time.
Yeah, that would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're Chicago and it's a 5th round, you're like, Jesus, Bobby's son's still on the board. Let's just take him. Fuck it. It'd be a good story.
Mm-hmm.
But they never. But yeah, it's pretty surprising, man. What else was I gonna say? Like you said, just so funny, man. Off the ice, just like
the dude.
He's like when dude. St. Louis won the cup and he got loaded at the parade and started screaming into the mic.
Yeah,
hilarious, man. I don't know.
I love him. Yeah,
we should get him on the pod next week.
No, I don't think he'll answer the DM, but we can try.
That's too bad, man. We should
try if he comes on. I get to read a couple of his books. I'm sure he got books. Everybody got books these days.
Yeah, I do. Caleb got a book about his son, or his father, Bobby, and then he's got Brett's book, and then he has Brett's. I don't know if it's Brett's son or Brett's brother, but the Hall that never made it, Dennis, I think, and his book is funny. It's like the Hall that I don't know that nobody remembers or something. Like that.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, so. That's sick. Yeah. Jeez, man, that was a perfect reason for him to write a book. He's like, there's so much money in me not being a good hockey player.
Yeah, Kale's got another book about this goalie too that didn't make it or whatever, and it's like everybody said I couldn't do it, so I went out and proved them right, and that's the title of Buddy's book.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah, I know you want to go and get the Leafs game, but just for the sake of getting it on the pod, I want to tell a story in I can't remember the year, but sometime in the 80s, these 2 players, I think they played, are not players, but GMs or whatever, like just wanted to have a laugh. So sometime in the 80s, they made up a player and drafted him.
Yes, man, that was Buffalo.
Buffalo. Yeah. Only Buffalo could do something like this.
His name was fucked too.
Taro Sugimoto or something.
Yeah, man, it was something like that. And nobody knew who he was when they drafted him.
I wish I had it wrote down like that, how the story actually was, because it's a great story and it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
maybe we'll tell it next week on the pod or something. You figure it out and you
have a little story time. Put it in the news or something. But
yeah. That'd be sick.
All right, man. Well, it was great sitting down with you for another week and talking about some draft steals.
It's good as always.
Yeah. Would you like to wish the fans well and see them off?
I will, man. See you, all you fans, next week, you hundreds of millions of fans. And you can follow our Instagram at Hockey Tank, and you can follow our YouTube at Hockey Tank Podcast. Unfortunately, like we mentioned beginning of the episode, if you stuck around long enough, we're not as active as we'd like to be, but we're working on it. We're trying our best with our busy schedules, and it'll improve. I don't think it can get much worse, but it'll improve. So
if this gets worse, man, I think we might just have to hang them up.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you next week, Trevor, buddy.
See you next week, buddy. Can't wait.